Imagine if you as a fan could directly participate in the transfer market in football by supporting your favorite club in financing new players. Thanks to crowd transfer, this idea is no longer a matter of fantasy, but a reality. I am delighted to have two of the three founders here today. Warm welcome to Roger Grossenbacher and Leroy Bechtold.
Thank you. Thanks.
To those who have never heard of crowd transfer, can you please explain what you do and how long have you been around?
Yeah, we started with crowd transfer like 1.5 years ago with the focus to bring football fans closer to their clubs. And what we provide is a platform where fans can directly support their club by financing new players and get additional social perks and engagement benefits from doing so.
You are both very young entrepreneurs and you started early with crowd transfer. What does it take for an entrepreneur to start such an adventure?
So in the beginning, we started building a team. I think that's one of the most important thing, to have good people around. And then we strategically approached all the different challenges that we had. That were on the legal side, that were on the product, that we built the software product, as well as the business development in the industry itself.
Last year, one of you, namely Leroy, made it onto the list of the Forbes 30 under 30. How did that happen?
So we saw the opportunity, us three in the founder team, and we thought, it could be a big opportunity for crowd transfer. And then we've decided to, all of us, make an application.
So all three of you,
yes,
all the founders made a separate
exactly.
application?
Yes,
interesting.
Exactly. And in the end, they have selected us. And it was really helpful, and it was a great chance for us.
You say it was helpful. What value exactly did that title or that list making bring to you?
So when we were in the process of the application, we also were doing our pre-seed round, where we were talking to many investors, venture funds, and also business angels. And as the list came out, it really provided trust in us. It showed that a neutral organization has checked us and is putting us on their list, and this trust was really helpful with investors but also with customers.
Leroy, this year you can officially nominate candidates. What do you look for in the candidates in order to nominate them?
So I think often it's difficult to really know them personally, right?
Yeah.
And know their strengths and weaknesses. So what I'm looking into mostly is their ideas. And at their ideas and their will to really power through with this idea. I think that you can estimate if you're talking to them. And in case of ideas, I really like innovative stuff, stuff that could have an impact in the world or also in Switzerland. And if I see these interesting ideas, then that's something, I consider to nominate.
If you, or I'm sure you also, like all entrepreneurs, did some mistakes in the beginning, are there some or one particular that you could name that you also can give others that they should avoid?
I think it also has to do with the willingness to power through. I think we had a longer journey until we had this business model that we have now. We had to iterate often, and we had to power
How long?
through.
How should I imagine it? How long did you have? Did you have your business model?
I would say it's at least 1 year where
1
we
year,
have
okay.
tried and checked and talked to potential customers, and
Until you brought it to paper? Oh.
No. We brought it to paper, then we talked to certain stakeholders, then we had to change the paper again.
Okay, I see. Like the whole process until you had your concept together.
Sometimes also on the application side. And I think if you're able to change things quicker, and I think there we maybe until we had some changes, we went a little bit too long with a current idea until we had the next iteration. I think it's important that in the end, just power through and do it. But I think that's something I would tell every new entrepreneur to just try out fast and quick and break things.
and also be willing to do some changes and adaptations.
Definitely, that's always a necessity. And I think the faster the iteration processes is, the faster you get your product to a market-ready point. So that was the reason that we tried to interact as much as possible with all the stakeholders. That was one on our side was FIFA from the club legal perspective, as well with EY, where we clarified all the legal topics that we had in the respective countries, as well as then talking to your potential or your future clients already to incorporate their feedback as well into the product. So we set quite a lot of focus on that, and I think we can always iterate faster with all the stakeholders.
So, for example, the first case was only transfer financing. And we saw in discussion with the teams that it's really interesting for them to also finance existing players. For example,
I see.
if
Not
they
only
want
the new ones.
Exactly. If they want to prolongate the contract, for example.
Yeah.
Or also financing women teams or the youth teams. So that was something, we changed
You
in
did not
the process.
consider in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we tried to also incorporate that into our services.
Okay.
I think it's really important to have clear vision where you want to go and what you want to offer, but you also need to be ready to adjust it based on the feedback you get from your potential or your future clients, that you tailor the product as good as you can to their needs.
Yeah, I understand. So, but talking about products and go-to-market, in what stage are you now with Crowdtransfer?
So we are finished with our application. The application is ready. We had our go live with our first campaign, where it was really important for us to make sure all is working well. One of the most important things when you're doing a go live. Because of that, we have constructed a smaller campaign with the women's team of Grasshoppers. And it really went well this first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And now we're doing this campaign at around 2 months or still to be
it's
done.
Running 2 months.
It's running now for 2
so
months.
We're almost in the middle now.
I think
more or less.
almost. And we're really glad with the process so far. And now we're looking forward to really onboard the bigger campaigns and to also the bigger clubs.
The bigger clubs. Okay, what is the dream club that you could think of?
The dream club, just from a perspective, personally, for me, it would definitely be Real Madrid.
Okay.
But that's just a personal preference in that case. But the business model in general is really strong because it works for really like your small village club that makes a small sponsoring activity till the big clubs where they have such huge fan bases that it's interesting for them money-wise, but also to get customer data, because then they know exactly who are their fans and where are they sitting all over the world, so they can monetize that in the future as well.
Let's change perspective. What's in for the fan?
So it is fan-driven. We are all big football fans, and the idea arose as fans because we thought, okay, we want to buy our club a new player because they're playing so bad. Real bad, but maybe you want to help them, and the financing is lacking for buying the big stars, right? So that was the idea, I guess. So I think that's the most important thing, that you are able to help your club without just donating the money and not being sure what they are doing with the money. So we're trying to help the fans to have a bigger impact in their club, to can help to finance new players and be a bigger part of your favorite club.
And what happens when the club buys the new player? Am I still involved as a fan, or am I out of the process then?
No, you're definitely still in the process where it actually starts. When when you started financing a new player, at the time the club is really contracting that player. You get already your social perks, so maybe you get a signed shirt of the player, you get a meet and greet with that player.
So I get some rewards.
Exactly. As well then during the contract money-wise, so every time he scores a goal, you get a small payback. Every time the team wins a game, for example, you get another small payment back. In case that's kind of an interest rate payment during the contract time. And when the player leaves the club at the end of the season or at the end of the contract time, you get your final reward payment based on the performance
It's
of the player
this
and the
particular
club.
player.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds super interesting, really. What are your next steps with Crowdtransfer? We heard you have your first campaign with a women's club, Grasshoppers. The next steps also in order of your entity. So what's happening next? Are you hiring new employees, or are you growing fast, or are you going to stay like that? What are your next steps?
So in recent months, we constantly grew as well from new employees that we have.
How many people work with you now?
We have around 11 people that are working full-time for us,
Wow.
and some that are on contractual basis. But we had the luck that we really found really good talent for the team. So we could really strengthen the team from our side. And now we're planning to grow in Europe. So we started with the German-speaking region in Europe, so Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, but now starting growing all over Europe and focusing on the top 5 leagues in Europe. And near the end of this year, beginning of next year, we also plan an additional financing round in order to grow quicker in the European markets.
I see. I wish you all the best luck with that. One final question. If I have a club, let's say here in Switzerland, and I'm interested, what do I do? Do I contact you directly, or what do I do?
Yes, I
Yes.
think that's best case. Of course, we're at the moment in the outreach process, talking to all the clubs. But if we have missed,
Maybe it goes the other way around as well.
an important club, then let's reach out.
Yeah.
And then we can look into a campaign for you. Also, if there are fans that want their club, maybe talk to your club officials, and then we can make it happen.
And tell them about Crowdtransfer. Thank you so much for your insights into your company, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.